Hey guys, what is going on? It is DaBoki here once again, and it's time for another Maple Monday. It is October 22nd, 2012, and is it a glorious Monday? Well, of course it's a glorious Monday. Welcome to Maple Monday. Today I have with me Happy Pandas, where they dance for you. Waka waka. These are so delicious, by the way. I think I might eat one. I don't want it. It says lift here. Thought I'd go ahead and start this Maple Monday by eating one of these Hello Pandas. Oh my goodness, I just ripped his head right in half. I'm doing some panda surgery. This happy panda turned into a sad panda. I just felt like I wanted to eat one of these snacks for you guys because they're Hello Panda. I saw this at the Korean market and I was like, well, I have to get this. Oh, look at him. He's attempting to talk with his head. You don't love me. You know, they come with such a fancy box, but then it comes with such a not fancy package inside. Gonna try to be smarter than the package. Here we go. Oh, the smell! Oh my goodness, look at these little things. They're adorable. He's a little panda. Just gonna place them in a box so I can actually use the box. Because I want to eat out of the panda's head. So you're like, oh, wait a second. What's inside panda's head? Oh, it's Happy Panda. Oh, they're really good. Okay, enough Happy Panda. Let's get into Maple Monday. So today's Maple Monday. I wanted to go ahead and just say hello. Welcome to Maple Monday. What's been happening in Maple Story? Not too much, actually, if I can say the least. Maple Story, of course, is just having their usual events going on for the Halloween updates. I mean, we got the Put a Smile on a Pumpkin event where you can go ahead and carve yourself a pumpkin, have a chance to win 10K NX. If you guys never carved a pumpkin before, it's horrible. I would not recommend you doing it because it sucks. Well, maybe because due to the fact I was doing it with a butter knife, but other than that, it's a pretty intense experience, so I guess you guys can go ahead and try to do that. Of course, just the normal Halloween events are going on. You can always check that out on the Nexon's website, and we do have one more Maple Monday before Halloween. But this Maple Monday in particular, I want to go ahead and talk a little bit about the White Lady in Perion, because it is spooky, it is creepy, and Halloween is approaching, so I thought, hey, why not? Why not set the little mood and atmosphere and go ahead and tell you guys a little bit. I guess this rumor has been going around for quite a while now. This myth, this legend, this white lady, people have been banned and disconnected after seeing this mystical beast, and I wanted to go ahead and do a little research on it. Now, if you guys haven't seen Copper Sand's Mythology Monday video on the White Lady, I advise you to go ahead and do so. I mean, it will enlighten you, and it's pretty intense. This story of the White Lady is kind of creepy, like, you know, how dark it is for Maple Story, because Maple Story is all cute and animated, you know, you got like little fluffy slime balls running around everywhere. Not really fluffy, they're kind of slimy and squishy, but you know, and then also you got this white lady thing going on in this background, so I want to go ahead and like talk about it. Kind of looking around a little creeped out talking about the White Lady, but apparently, you know, of course it's all stories, there's a lot of different types of stories, but I did a little research online and I want to go ahead and just read some stuff I guess I found, but it seems a little intense, a little dark, and if you guys don't know what the White Lady is, let me just go ahead and do a little brief background on it before I get into this subject. The White Lady is someone that appears, it's an NPC, a player that appears in Maple Story, especially in Perion. That's where players are saying that they've encountered this white lady, and it's supposed to be like a ghost, and it's not really sure where this thing appears and why it appears, but it appears and it hunts down Maple Story players, and it's creepy. So, White Lady, apparently, if I get this right, I've been reading some stories on it, you know, some people that have been, I guess, encountering or heard the story. It could be all rumors and myths, but, you know, it's always fun to talk about, and it's kind of creepy, but nonetheless. So the White Lady, you know, she was a Nexon employee. You know, of course, there's a lot of different theories on the White Lady, but apparently this White Lady, her name was Muriel, and she was a GM for Maple Story. She worked on Nexon, and like the whole story is that, you know, she was very poor as a person, you know, and she wanted to go ahead and get married with her husband, but she couldn't because they had no money. So apparently she saw an ad for Nexon or something, and she applied a job for Nexon, she got in and all that good stuff, and she started working for Nexon. You know, first of all, having just out of high school working for Nexon, that's a little iffy because it's really hard to get into Nexon, so this must be like way back when they're like hiring people off the streets to fill up their water canteens. But anyway, so she got a job for Nexon, and she apparently got pretty high up there. She became a big manager or whatever, game writer, code writer. She was developing some of the stuff for the game, and I guess, you know, she was having some conflicts with the employees inside the Nexon headquarters, and they did something wrong to her, you know, and then she went ahead and, you know, she posted some bad pictures, and apparently she like went into the Sleepywood map, and she actually went in and customized some of the maps for her liking. So she posted some background pictures of the Sleepywood maps and all that kind of stuff. But I guess that's where Bob the Snail came in, because her husband was named Bob, and that's where she kind of implanted the Bob the Snail. Supposedly, you know, this is all a myth, legend, stories, and people have all different types of stories, but this is one I came upon, and it was kind of interesting. So I don't know if you guys ran into Bob the Snail, but he's a different type of snail. He's a green snail, and there's a quest for him actually, but he drops a special snail shell, and this is called Bob's snail shell or something like that. It doesn't stack with all the other green shells, so it's very interesting that there would be a snail called Bob, but apparently her lover was named Bob, so she popped him in there in MapleStory, I guess, to have a little bit of a honoring system with Mr. Bob, but that was her lover, I guess. And then during one night, you know, late night at Nexon headquarters, you know, she's programming up Perion's maps. You know, she's actually working on Perion's maps. She was a GM, so she's testing out the maps and all that kind of stuff inside Perion, making sure all the portals work right, all dances with Balrogs isn't actually dancing, and all that good stuff. And then all of a sudden, for some reason, one of her employees comes in and kills her. You know, kills her. Maybe whacks her with a stump. Doesn't give her any health pots. No, but literally, like in real life, I guess one of her employees just came up and just blah, right in the back of the head or something. So she was still logged on to the game. So after she died, I guess, and her character was still on the game, and it never logged off. So that's, I guess, the problem. So her character is the White Lady, and apparently Muriel is around haunting all the Maplers inside Perion because she died in real life as logged on her character inside Perion. So she appears randomly here and there, and I guess some Maplers have seen her, has of course made a lot of videos on it, and a lot of people are doing fake White Ladies, and I'm not even sure what to think of this, you know, it's a very fun little thing that I think Nexon put into MapleStory. It's like that little hidden Easter egg that we're not really sure what is going on, but it's like a lot of weird stories are coming out. I highly doubt that Muriel was assassinated at Nexon headquarters while working on the Perion's map, because that's messed up. But, you know, there is a lot of stories about Maplers that I came upon reading that they would go into Perion just training. This happened a long time ago, you know, that this White Lady would appear all of a sudden randomly in their maps in Perion. You know, a lot of warriors went through this, and, you know, they're just training, and then all of a sudden this White Lady appears, and it has no, they click on their name, has no profile, no name, but the fame is infinity. And after they click on them, you know, the little profile picture pops up, then they get banned and disconnected, and they can't log back on. Of course, this was a huge glitch, and it's changed now, and it's fixed, apparently. But, you know, Nexon is, I think, keeps this little White Lady in there and just has it appear randomly just to spook out Maplers. And I'd really love it if Nexon did more of these, like, little type of hidden Easter eggs for us that just can't, it's not really explainable. And, you know, it kind of spooks us out a little bit. You know, maybe a real-life picture in the sky of Hennesis, you know, just like all of a sudden you see like this baby looking at you, like what's that baby's son, you know? Are we in Teletubbies? I don't know, you know, it's kind of cool though. So the White Lady haunts Maplers all over Perion, and I'm kind of curious on thinking, you know, what your guys' thoughts on this White Lady is. And definitely go check out Copper Sam's Mythology Monday White Lady video, because, you know, they do a good job explaining the White Lady. And my thoughts on the White Lady is that Nexon potentially had this creepy creature thing just pop up in the random maps. Just a little, you know, little hidden thing that would happen. This should change up the game, but when players would click on it, you know, obviously it was a glitch because it's not supposed to be clickable, you know, but they actually had a real clickable character there. You know, of course this is probably all fake, but it's always fun to talk about. It's always fun to think about, you know, just little weird things that happen in MapleStory, just unexplainable things, you know. Of course we can dissect MapleStory, go into the files, look at the code, see where it appears and why it appears and all that good stuff, but that takes too much work. So guys, leave in the comments below what your thoughts on the White Lady is. I was kind of creeped out reading the story. A lot of good writers out there, you know what I mean? They make it really creepy and scary that this White Lady is haunting around Perion. I would avoid Perion. Forget that map, you know. I'll go somewhere peaceful, like Lith Harbor. Nothing scary around there. Actually, that's a lie, because I think the white lady did appear there one time as well. But anyways, guys, like always, thank you so much for watching this Maple Monday. I guess interesting to search up a little bit on this white lady. This has been DaBoki. Enjoy your Monday, enjoy your week, and we'll be seeing you guys later.